Hi, welcome back to LP Human Anatomy. We are now on a summary section of a cell. Under introduction, if you can recall, it was discussed that cells are the basic building blocks of the human body. It is made of trillions and trillions of cells, provide structure to the body. It converts food, what we eat, into energy, which helps in conducting different functions of the body. And the amazing fact is what and how the creator has created living form. Each living form, whether it is plants, animals or human beings, each one of us have developed from a single cell zygote, after fertilization to a complete human body, right? So from a single cell zygote we have developed completely, right? So this process takes through several series of processes like cell division, differentiation, growth, apoptosis and maturation. This will be dealt, the whole thing will be dealt under a separate section altogether called embryology. Coming to structure of the cell, we can recall protoplasm of a cell, which is nothing but it includes nucleus and cytoplasm. The cells can be nucleated, non-nucleated or multinucleated. The nucleus and amount of cytoplasm is different in different types of cells. That is, the amount of cytoplasm to that of the nucleus can vary in different types of cells depending on their specific functions. The ratio in a normal cell, that is the ratio of the nucleus to the cytoplasm, is in a normal cell 1:4 to 1:6, and in malignant cells and embryonic cells it is 1:1. The shape of the cells varies again depending on their functions. It can be flattened, cubical, fusiform, stellate, pyramidal and flask shaped. The size of the cell varies from 5 to 50 micrometer, the largest being the ovum in the females, which is around 130 micrometer. So now coming to the main component of a cell. So the components of the cell are cell membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. Now the whole thickness of the cell membrane is 75 angstroms. The components of cell membrane are lipids, proteins, carbohydrates. Now lipids are in the form of glycerophospholipids and cholesterol. Now here the glycerophospholipids, the glycerophospholipids make up 80%. 80% of the lipid component and are made of hydrophilic heads and hydrophobic tails. These hydrophobic tails are called as fatty acids. So these glycerophospholipids, they are arranged in two layers. The heads face the hydrophilic zone, which face inside and outside of the cell, and the hydrophobic tails, which face each other, forms the hydrophobic zone. The proteins, the proteins, that is the second component of the cell membrane, they are present in the form of transmembrane proteins and peripheral proteins. Transmembrane proteins are present through the cell membrane, passing both layers of glycerophospholipids and help in transporting materials. Based on what it transports and how it transports, they are classified into leak channels and gated channels, which are further divided into ligand and voltage gated channels, depending on what it transports. Now depending on how many substances are transported and the direction in which they are transported, they are classified into uniport, symport and antiport. Peripheral proteins are present embedded outside and inside of the membrane that do not encroach into the inner hydrophobic zone. That is, they are not embedding in the layer where the fatty acid chains are present. Okay, they help in cell signaling and maintain cell shape forming cytoskeleton. Now the third component of the cell membrane, carbohydrates, they are present in the form of glycolipids and glycoproteins. Okay, carbohydrates attached to the glycerophospholipids are called glycolipids, and the carbohydrates attached to the transmembrane proteins are called glycoproteins. Both glycolipids and glycoproteins, okay, together they are present only on the outer layer of the cell membrane, and they form a cell coat called glycocalyx. Now coming to the functions of the cell membrane, okay, they maintain shape, they are selectively permeable, okay, they are aggregated to form the tissues where the cells are having uniform shape, size and function, okay, similar function. It protects the cytosol, provides microenvironment for cell function, and it monitors and maintains the chemical composition, okay, and it also helps in cell communication and cell signaling. Okay, coming to the second component of the cell, okay, remember we have discussed the components and the functions of the cell membrane. That was the first component of the cell. Now coming to the second component of the cell, okay, nucleus. It is present inside the cell, okay, inside the cell. The parts are the nuclear envelope, okay, chromatin threads, nucleolus and nuclear sap. The nuclear envelope, which surrounds the whole nucleus, is a double layered structure which has the inner nuclear membrane and the outer nuclear membrane. In between these two layers, that is in between the inner nuclear and outer nuclear membranes, is a space which is called as perinuclear cistern or space. Okay, so here in the nuclear envelope, in between there are spaces, okay, or gaps which allows communication between the inner part of the nucleus and the cytoplasm. Okay, so that is called as the nuclear pore. Okay, and it permits substances to travel in and out of nucleus. Okay, now chromatin threads condenses during cell division to form the chromosomes. Okay, so this section, that is, this is chromatin threads is nothing but DNA. Okay, so this section will be dealt completely under the genetics and embryology. Now coming to the third component of the nucleus, okay, that is the nucleolus. It is a non-membranous structure and it is made of the RNA granules and proteins. Now the fourth component of the nucleus is a fluid which has proteins and act as medium for transport of materials from the nucleolus, okay, from the nucleolus to the nuclear pore. Okay, now going into the functions of nucleus. So as a whole, the nucleus and nucleolus, they synthesize protein, okay, they help in cell division, growth and differentiation. It stores hereditary materials, it is a site for transcription. It stores proteins and RNA and produce ribosomes and helps in cell signaling. Now coming to the third component of the cell, okay, third component of the cell, which is the major chunk and important section, okay, important section of the cell. So here let us first discuss the functions of the cytoplasm, and then we'll go into the components of the cytoplasm. So the main function of the cytoplasm are, it maintains turgidity or the swelling of the cell, okay, and it provides shape to the cell, and it also helps in embedding cell organelles. Now coming to the components of cytoplasm. Okay, components, that is what it is made of. Okay, so it is mainly made of cytosol, then the cytoplasmic inclusions and the cytoplasmic organelles. Now the cytosol, it is a gel like substance, okay, which embeds the cytoplasmic inclusions and the cytoplasmic organelles in it. Now cytoplasmic inclusions are non-soluble substances like crystals, granules and lipid droplets. Okay, so these cytoplasmic inclusions and cytoplasmic organelles, they are present in the cytosol. You can imagine the ice cream, okay, the ice cream part of it as the cytosol. The fruits and nuts in the ice cream is the cytoplasmic inclusions and the cytoplasmic organelles. Now going deep into the cytoplasmic organelles, okay, they are active substances and are needed for carrying out major functions of cell. Now going into briefly, okay, into each organelle. What is it is, okay, starting from the ribosome granules. We will, as and when we talk about each component, we will briefly discuss about it and then go into the next component of the cytoplasm. Okay, now the ribosome granules are composed of ribosomal RNA, okay, and proteins. They are of two types, okay, free and attached. Okay, so the ribosome granules are of two types, free ribosome granules and attached ribosome granules. It is formed by two subunits, that is 40S and 60S. Coming to the next component, that is endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, it extends from the nuclear membrane to the cell membrane. Okay, it extends from the nuclear membrane to cell membrane, which extends in the form of foldings, okay, double membrane foldings, which is called as cisternae, and in between the double membrane foldings there is a space which is called as cisternal space. Okay, so this cisternal space is continuous with the perinuclear space of the nuclear membrane. Now this is of two types. Okay, endoplasmic reticulum is of two types. So the one which is attached to ribosomes, it is called as rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the type of endoplasmic reticulum without the granules, okay, ribosome granules, it forms the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So endoplasmic reticulum, it synthesizes protein, lipids, glycogen and steroids. It helps in the formation of nuclear membrane. It increases the surface area, okay, for the cellular reactions, and it helps in transportation of materials to other organelles. Okay, coming to the other component, Golgi complex, important component. Okay, the structure of the Golgi complex, it has a cisternae, okay, which is stacked. The part of Golgi complex facing the nucleus is called as cis phase, and the other part facing the cell membrane is the trans phase. Now group of vesicles apart from the cisternae which are closely present towards the stacked cisternae, the one which is on towards the cis phase is called as cis Golgi network. Okay, and the vesicle present on the trans phase is called as trans Golgi network. Okay, so the Golgi complex, okay, it acts as a major collection and dispatch center. It modifies proteins and lipids, then it delivers, okay, these modified proteins and lipids to intracellular or extracellular locations. Very important component is the next component, that is mitochondria. Okay, it is a double membrane structure, okay, which has the outer membrane and the inner membrane. Okay, it has two membranes, outer membrane and inner membrane. The outer membrane is smooth, okay, and the inner membrane, it is folded on itself to form cristae, which has C phase and M phase. Okay, it has the C phase and M phase. It has two chambers, outer chamber and inner chamber. Okay, now the M phase is studded with the ribosomes and enzymes on its surface. The outer chamber is present between the two membranes, okay, and the inner chamber, which is present deep to the inner membrane, is filled with the mitochondrial matrix with the DNA, RNA, enzymes and bacteria. The functions of mitochondria are, it is a powerhouse of cells because it manufactures the ATP, okay, which is necessary for bringing out the activities of the cell. It regulates innate immunity, it helps in calcium homeostasis, controls intrinsic pathway of apoptosis, regulates regeneration of stem cells and helps in cell signaling. Okay, now the lysosome is the another component of the cytoplasm. It is a single membrane bound vesicle. Okay, it is a single membrane bound vesicle. It is composed of membrane bound proteins, okay, and it has luminal proteins and hydrolytic enzymes. The functions of the lysosome, it acts as suicidal bags, okay. The process which includes autophagy destroys the damaged structures. So during the death of animal or any living organism, okay, it autolyses itself, okay, and the structure or the organism, okay. So the process of decaying the animal is called as autolysis, and it destroys bacteria in the living being. Coming to the next component, that is centrosome. It is made of two centrioles. Okay, it is made of two centrioles which are present at right angles to each other, surrounded by a dense cytoplasm. Now each centriole contains 9 longitudinal bundles of microtubules, and each bundle has 3 microtubules, okay, making a total of 27 microtubules. The function of centrosome is, it produces mitotic spindles. The mother centriole, okay, which gives rise to the daughter centrioles, it produces the cilia and flagella, okay, and it regulates the cell cycle progression. Okay, going into the smaller structures in the cytoplasm, okay, peroxisome, it is also a single membrane bound structure which has a core of oxidative enzymes, and sometimes it is made of crystalline core. Okay, it helps in the energy metabolism, okay, which forms the function of peroxisome. It helps in lipid biosynthesis. It helps in detoxification of reactive oxygen species, okay. It helps in the oxidative pathways. It generates hydrogen peroxide and also helps in cell signaling. Coming to the last components of the cytoplasm, microtubules and microfilaments. The microtubules are made of tubulin proteins, okay, which are of two types, organized and dispersed. Okay, the organized microtubules are cilia, flagella and centrioles. The dispersed microtubules, they form skeleton of the cell, okay, called as cytoskeleton, and it transports macromolecules in cytoplasm, okay, inside the cytoplasm. And the sites, okay, for microtubule organizing centers where they are present, okay, in the cytoplasm are centrioles, kinetochore and basal bodies. the microfilaments and microfibrils, they are ultra microscopic in nature and are more dense. Okay, they are more dense beneath cell membrane. They provide internal support and are present in the central core of microvilli, okay, in the form of actin myosin. Now coming into the next task, okay, the next task is to go through the diagrams and practice them. Okay, the next section is for you to practice the diagrams, and after that, okay, you have to take the test. Now unless you score 90% in the test, you cannot enter the next topic. If you get less than 90%, please go back and revisit the particular topic and again retake the test. Okay, so you can download the mind map and the link is given below in the description. You can download from there. Okay, so before you leave the site, please leave your comments on lessons learned from this topic, and also if you understood the topic and liked it, give your ratings and reviews under the link provided. Okay, so bye for now. See you in the next section, that is basic tissues of the body.
If you like the video, hit the like button. If you have not yet subscribed, subscribe to the channel and hit notification button. Join my private Facebook community where like-minded students will support, discuss, encourage and push each other towards reaching the goal. For link, visit the description area. Thank you for watching.